as we head into the election week for Mumbai, we are here today at Joggers Park, which is a garden right here in Ghatkopar. In fact, this election season, we've seen all the candidates across parties reaching out to their voters early in the morning or in the park because that's how they think they'll be able to reach out to more people. Also, this year, especially young voters are the catchment audience for most of the candidates right here. We try speaking to some of the first time and the young voters to really understand what are their expectations like. In fact, we've seen several political parties, including BJP, trying to reach out to young voters with with catchy captions such as "Coffee pe charcha" instead of "Chai pe charcha," because yes, of course, youth is the future for the country, which is where we try and understand from some of them as to what they have to really say about the upcoming elections. Tell us, we're heading into the election. You'll be voting in a few days from now. What will be the first thing in your mind, when you go to vote?
Uh, to be very honest, I would personally look into my constituency than the larger picture. The person who has really worked into my constituency and has done a good job, according to that, I'll vote, and that is my first preference. I won't see a bigger picture and a face of any party, but the constituency matters, and what work the particular candidate has done, that will matter for me before voting.
So, when you say you'd be looking at a particular person's performances, what would be, say, like a 1, 2, 3 criteria or, things that would be in your mind when it comes to voting for that person?
See, being an youth and being in this particular digital era, and we are into a developing state, right? So, education, firstly, predominantly, and cleanliness, roads, and light, water, all these are the basic essentials for any middle class person. So, these things needs to be seen before voting any candidate. So, yeah, this is something I would look before voting. Yeah.
So, we, of course, some of you all over here are first time voters. Have you voted before? Is this going to be your first time?
No, this is my first time.
And do you think that the youth is the next generation? Of course, because we are seeing that right now for all the political parties, youth is what the target audience is.
Yeah, surely it's an voice. Youth is a voice for the future of India, and a lot of parties are promoting youth in their they have a youth wing. They have different youth groups where they promote this kind of any activity which are done by youth. So yeah, we are going to see a lot of youth ministers and as well as candidates in future.
Right. So, of course, speaking of whether parties have done something for the youth, we try and understand from you how do you see there are various political parties, there are various candidates. Do you think they've been able to reach out to youth so far?
Well, definitely one of their agendas is to reach out to youth, because as we know that India is the youngest country and youth is, if I may call it, the biggest vote bank of India right now, which everyone wants to tap on. So definitely each and everyone in their own way are trying to tap on this vote bank. Yeah.
And what do the youth really want right now?
So right now, if you ask me, they want an environment where education is simple, education is cheap, there are good opportunities for development, and there are good job opportunities, and this is what the basic youth wants. Why are people flying out right now? Because they perceive that there are good opportunities out there and not here. So if we could create that perception wherein we could create opportunities over here, nothing like that, people would stay back over here for sure.
And when you speak of all of these things, do you think in the last 10 years we've been able to reach that, or do you think there's still a long way to go?
I feel that there's a long way to go, and we require there's sort of focused approach where we don't lose that brain drain out of this country, and in a way we help the country to grow in the long term. Yeah.
Would this be one of the prime criteria for you, particularly when you go to vote?
Absolutely, because this is more like the future of my country is dependent on these things. So definitely, this is one of the topmost priority, I would like to say this way.
And speaking of priorities, if we had to say 3 priorities that you had when you cast your vote?
Education, safety, and third would be, I would say, let's say there is a lot of hatred. I mean, let's say a simple sort of decent living. That is something that I would say.
Of course, now we try go to some more people. We try speaking to you and understand what is one thing that you would have in your mind before casting the vote.
So I believe that you need to look at the past of what the track record has been or who has actually worked for the nation. So that, and maybe whom I believe would work for the country better in the future, that would be like the first criteria I would look at.
And Of course, there are things that people look for in a manifesto of a person. There are things that youth, want their leaders to know. What is it that you think your group, your generation would want the leaders to know?
I feel that first of all, education would be one thing that our youth want because that is one of the most important things. The second thing I would say is infrastructure because we all travel and we want more seamless travel to reach places quickly rather than being stuck. So two three things more development as far as technology is concerned, AI is concerned. So that would be like two three things that the youth would require basically.
And we speak of Mumbai, of course, we've seen a lot of infrastructure development in Mumbai lately. Of course, a lot needs to be done because every other road is dug up. Some things we've gotten, like Atal Setu, like the coastal road, but Metro makes it Mumbai look like it's always under construction. So, is that also something that would affect your choice of voting?
Yeah, I would say it's work in progress right now, but I feel that it would eventually happen, and the metro would be going because we see one line that is already opened up, the Ghatkopar to Warsaw line already there. So I feel that it's work in progress, and once it's there, the convenience would be more as compared to right now.
Does that affect Mumbaiker's choice? Because Mumbaikars are always someone who are on commute. So, is that something that gives previous government a thumbs up just because of whatever's happened in Mumbai?
Yes, definitely there are certain opinions that it should happen faster, it should happen quicker. It's causing a lot of convenience issues. But yeah, I feel people in the back of their head might know that it will eventually happen. So for me personally, that would not be a big concern when I'm casting my vote.
We now try speaking to some females out here. This lady out here, tell us what do you see the next 5 years of the country being like?
Probably the next 5 years, as per the growing infrastructure and everything, development in every sort of areas, we think after 5 years India is going to rock in many fields. It can be sports, infrastructural wise, AI and everything. So I think after 5 years India will be like on a huge position.
Right. And when you speak of sports and infrastructure, how would you rate the last 1 decade of the country?
Uh, as per sports, in nowadays and in this year, we have won lot of medals as per India and everything in various fields, whether it is cricket. Unfortunately, we didn't won this year, but hopefully we'll won in next year and everything.
So you're an athlete, right? What
Yeah.
is it that you as a voter would want from your government?
Me as a voter, I will want that support is basically in India there is not that much of support and appreciation done to sports, whether it is female or male. That support is, I guess, very important, which is not yet as per the requirements of any athlete or anybody.
So would that be your first criteria or among the top things that you would want to think of when you go to vote?
Not exactly, but maybe one of those.
And what would be the other then?
Others, as others told, that education is also important, just because the youth education is basically something when a person is educated, he know what to do, what is right and what is wrong, as per uneducated ones. So I feel education is much more important for everyone, whether it is male, female or anyone.
Right. So yes, education tops the priority, infrastructure tops the priority, technology tops the priority. We come to you. What is it that is on your list or what's on your priority when you go to vote?
So it's all about the basic things we need to focus on. We are talking about the infra and everything we are developing. Yesterday you only saw that we are growing on the railway route parts, but in just like yesterday's 5 minutes cyclone, it's destroyed entire harbor line's infra. Like entire harbor line and central line was stuck. So we need to focus on that first before growing. The basic needs we need to focus on.
So as a Mumbaiker, you think we still have a long way to go to develop what we already have before we go further?
Yes, because our basic needs are not getting fulfilled. So
Right.
that's why.
And what would you define these basic needs as a Mumbaiker?
Like road infra and everything. Like if you see road infra in Mumbai and compared to other states, it's too basic for the Mumbai. Like for the major metro city at least.
Right. And would that be your among the top few criteria to vote?
Yes.
And what would be the other criteria then?
So for any common man, it's basic for the everyone. Like infra needs to be basic at least. For I know that Mumbai's local is like we say it's a lifeline for everyone. But when we see the local rainy season comes, local gets stuck, and we need to improve on that part. Like every year on rainy season, it's or the same or the other.
So yes, those were some youth from Mumbai. Of course, for a Mumbaiker, it's infrastructure, it's education, it is technology, something that tops their list, and which is what we see would be the deciding factor when they go in to vote on 20th of May.